Are you choosing good sounds, making good music, doing everything right, but your track still doesn't feel like an actual record? Well, today I want to show you the missing piece of the puzzle. It's the 3-step system that brings everything together. Once you view your tracks through this lens, every decision after it gets easier. And spoiler alert, it's not mixing or sound design or effects or even composition. Oh, and I've put all of this into a free PDF you can download at the link below. So let's rewind 10 years. My music was doing pretty well. I was making drum and bass, releasing on decent labels, getting Radio 1 plays, DJ support from DJs I'd idolised growing up. But my productions were inconsistent. Some tracks hit, others just didn't feel like records next to my favourite tunes. And it wasn't the sonics, it hit deeper. This was keeping me up at night. I was determined to solve this, so I started looking outside of music. And I found the solution in an unexpected place. I've always found theatre and stage performances kind of fake. It always felt like watching regular people standing on a stage. But since I was a kid, movies have always pulled me in. And the reason why is the world. It's the universe that makes cinema feel believable and tangible. You can feel the heat of a desert or the wind of an icy tundra, and that's what clicked for me. Say your sounds and notes are the characters. You've got a load of characters standing in an empty room doing their thing with nothing tying them together. They feel like wooden stage actors because they don't live in the same world. This is probably why your tracks feel like a bunch of loops or random sounds. Composition matters, of course, but this is why amazing composition and great parts can still add up to a track that doesn't feel like a record. The world is what makes your sounds belong as a collective. Your sonic world is the universe, the stage, the set that your sounds perform on. This concept is a key part of what I teach in the Loop to Track workout. It's the training program that's helping hundreds of producers finish more tracks more consistently. Click the link below if you want the full step-by-step system that I used to finish 31 tracks last year. So let's talk about sound selection. All of this isn't just about choosing sounds, because we talk about good sound selection without really defining what that means. I'm sure you've experienced it. You can play perfect notes and choose high quality sounds and still feel like nothing belongs together. That's why telling a producer to be better at composition or sound selection is not specific enough. The far more effective move lives above this. The top level decision should be to define your sonic world. And to help you do this, I've broken the process down into 3 steps that will make finishing tracks so much easier. Once you've got these locked in, every other decision in your track becomes clearer. So to understand step 1, here are some examples that might help. Take the Stranger Things soundtrack. You hear those synths and you're instantly placed in a world. Warbly 80s synths and kids on bikes in the dark. The world hits before any plot has even happened. And here's a completely different example. This is a tune I'm working on. The underlying world and concept of this track was something very strange and abstract. A lizard. So you can use anything as inspiration to define your sonic world. Here are some examples. One example could be a late night drive. Or what about something mechanical like rusty machinery? Or something dreamy and watery like a sleepy boat ride? Or you could choose a colour. What about rich, deep green? Or we can get hyper-specific. Maybe you'd want to make music that you'd hear on one of Saturn's rings. Or you might want to make a plasticky, rubbery pop song that feels like an elastic band being snapped. So step number 1 is to pick something, anything. Come up with a vibe, an aesthetic, a mood, a feeling, even a colour. Don't overthink it, just be creative. Once you have an idea for a world, you can move on to step 2. Vague on its own isn't enough. Let's use my lizard concept again. A lizard on its own is not a world. This doesn't help you program drums or add synths. So let's expand it with more details. I wanted something that felt slithery, like a reptile. Also, lizards are jumpy and jerky, so I thought something swung or triplety could work. And also, lizards seem quite playful and cheeky. So now we've expanded the initial idea into some tangible ideas that we can use to make our track. So step 2 is to get more specific. Take that vague concept of a world and write down a few words that turn it into concrete characteristics you can actually use. Okay, now to step 3. You've got your world defined. So what do you do with it? Well, having your world is the top level decision, because once you have it, it answers the majority of questions underneath it. Composition: what chords fit your world? A dark, moody world calls for minor key chords with a certain emotional weight to them. Then there's sound selection: what drums and timbres and textures fit your world? If you're stuck for what to add in terms of sound selection, this will guide you. Then you've got effects: what type of reverb or delay or distortion should you use? If it's a retro track, you'd use vintage sounding effects. If it's modern, use modern effects. And there's the mix. How do your sounds sit and feel and interact in your world? Do you go loud and crunchy, or calm and clean and restrained? So your world is a filter that you can hold up against every decision that follows. And your world doesn't just tell you what to add, it also tells you what not to add. We all know reducing options helps: fewer plugins, fewer decisions, but your sonic world restricts your palette for a reason, not just for the sake of it. It is a map that guides you towards the finish line. Back to my Lizard track, as soon as I narrowed down my vision, it gave me that filter for what would and wouldn't fit. So using that list from earlier, I based the whole track around this triplety, jerky swung feel, and I centered everything around this cheeky, optimistic synth that has this reptilian quality. So step 3 is to use your world as a filter, as a guiding light to help you compose, choose sounds, add effects, and finish the track. Just like how actors use the script and their world to shape their characters' motivations, your sonic world should guide your decisions. Every time you go to add a sound, you ask one question: does this fit the world? Then every choice you make from that gets faster, clearer, and more confident. Oh, and a very important point: it's okay to fail. Even if you choose a world and it doesn't feel right, it still helps you make decisions. For example, my Lizard tune is a weird concept, and honestly, I don't think it quite works. It's not literally a lizard, but using these reptilian characteristics kind of did its job. It helped me make decisions for this track very quickly, and I created this particular vibe. So just have fun. Even an imperfect world will push your music somewhere new. So to build your world, pick something, be specific, and use your filter. These kinds of decisions are what the Loop to Track workout's all about. The link's below if you want the full system that's helping producers finish tracks. And to learn how to pick sounds that make it impossible to get stuck in a loop, go and watch this video right here.